for Climate Change and Energy. Does the minister agree that the Albanese government has broken its promise to reduce household energy bills by $275 by 2025?
Call to the Minister for Climate Change and Energy.
Well, thanks, Mr Speaker. I thank the honourable member for his question. And there's no doubt that energy prices have been under pressure in recent years. No doubt at all. We've been very clear about that. The Australian people know that. Energy prices in Australia are slightly below the OECD average, but that doesn't mean that that hasn't put huge pressure on Australian families and businesses as energy prices have gone up. That is the fact, Mr Speaker. Now, there's two questions. How did we get here and what are we going to do about it? Well, the fact of the matter is, when there was a global energy crisis, Australia entered that crisis ill-prepared.
The Minister will pause. There's just a wall of noise happening at the moment. So I'm going to ask the Minister just to be heard in silence, just as the member for Nichols was. This is a repeat performance and it's not going to continue today. The Manager of Opposition Business, please don't interject when I'm addressing the House. And the Leader of the Opposition as well. Just...
Mr Speaker, give her a pass.
Order. The Minister will continue.
In defence of the Leader of the Opposition, Mr Speaker, she was complimenting me on my tie, so I'm prepared to take the interjection. But, Mr Speaker, we entered the global energy crisis ill-prepared because under the previous government 4 gigawatts of dispatchable power had left the grid and 1 gigawatt had come on. I hear moans from those opposite.
Order. The Leader of the Nationals.
And as you know, Mr Speaker, I'm always trying to find a bipartisan note at the dispatch box. So to quote Senator Canavan, who recently said, the other thing I often hear from government senators and members of the other place is that the former government failed because 4 gigawatts...
Will pause. The member for Gippsland on a point of order.
Well, thank you, Speaker. And the point of order is on relevance. The question was very tight. The minister is being as loose as a goose. If he can't answer the question, he should just sit down.
Order. The issue with these questions are you're asking an opinion. Does he agree with his commitments to reduce? So he's arguing because of the question he's been asked. It places because of the question, the way the question is framed. So if you're asking whether he thinks he's broken something or disagreed about does he agree the broken promise to reduce the cost, he's arguing that perhaps that's not the case and he doesn't agree with that, right? So it's going to be the same answer that he's going to get to the same question that he's getting over and over again on this topic. So just make sure the minister is being directly relevant. He just can't start quoting random people. He's got to make his answer elected representatives. Other members. Order. That he just needs to make whoever he's quoting directly relevant to the question he was asked.
I, for one, Mr Speaker, would never call Senator Canavan random. But, Mr Speaker, Senator Canavan said,
Order.
The other thing I often hear from government senators and members of the other place is that the former government failed because 4 gigawatts of baseload power came out of the system over that decade or so and only 1 gigawatt was installed to replace it. That is true. That is a fair criticism of energy policy over the last 10 years or so, Mr Speaker. You won't often hear me approvingly quoting Senator Canavan, but he's spot on there, Mr Speaker. Now, then the second question is, what do you do about it? Well, we on this side of the House think that you introduce more of the cheapest, fastest to deploy form of energy. Those opposite think the answer is more of the most expensive, slowest form of energy, Mr Speaker. So, on that side of the House, we saw 4 gigawatts of dispatchable power leave the grid and 1 gigawatt come on. In our not yet 4 years in office, we've seen 2 gigawatts leave and 7.7 gigawatts come on, Mr Speaker. 7.7 gigawatts come on.
Order.
That's more supply. More supply means lower prices, Mr Speaker. Less supply means upward pressure on prices. That's what the Liberal and Nationals left Australia with, particularly their former energy minister, the member for Hume, Mr Speaker, who who in 2018 promised, and I quote, that he would slash $183 to just over $400 per annum from household bills, Mr Speaker, in a speech on the 30th of August 2018. By the time he left office, were bills down $400 a year? No, Mr Speaker. They were up $45 on Ausgrid, $116 in Endeavour and $135 for Essential. The member for Hume